1 year ago, I purchased a smart suit, and I tried it the first time I got it. I tried it, and it worked perfectly. The customer service was perfect. They would respond immediately. I hadn't had any problems with the suit, and I voiced my whatever issues I had with the suit at the time. And now this is my 12 month, I think, or actually more than 12 month, more than a year review of the same smart suit. Now, I'm going to let you guys know something that I went into this thinking, okay, there's definitely going to be a problem with the suit. And, I hung it up. I used it a few times, and then I brought it back out. And I've used it a few times even before today. Obviously, I have several different suits. Normally, I use the camera system too because those are a bit more expensive, and actually, to a large extent, they're more precise. The more, but this is a consumer suit, and so basically, I'm looking for this thing to actually act like the neuron perception did to me, where I put this thing on, and there was some issues. So guess what? I put it on, and bam, there was some issues. It just wasn't connecting. So I'm like, okay, I expected this. And so I tried a few things and tried to see what was going on. I looked at my network, and you remember from the previous video, I did everything exactly the same. So I went and I checked to see if I needed to update my hardware, and I did. I needed to update my hardware. There was a firmware update that I needed, which I was able to get from their site. So after I updated it from the site, I then went and tried it again. And this time, after the update, nothing. I mean, it was basically this. Even after I would calibrate, this is what I was getting. I would push on calibration and nothing. So, I mean, before the update, at least something was going on. I mean, there was nothing I could do. It just wouldn't even respond. Calibration didn't work. Nothing didn't work. So then I got the software update, and basically the same thing. So while I'm updating the software, I went in and I wanted to look at the terms and the agreements and everything that we're agreeing to. And I just want everyone to understand that within this agreement, when you update the software, now, like I said, I really love this company, but in the agreement, just to let you guys know, when you use their software, I'm not talking about Unity or Maya, when you use this Rokoko Studio, they have the right to actually grab that data and use that data for advertisement for almost anything. They basically have the same rights as you to the data that you're using when you're using that software. It's inside of their agreement here. And not just to the data. I mean, if you look here in the license agreement, they can at any time have the right to go into your studio and ask for proof that you have a previous copy of this software or that you're using it legally. Actually, almost like they can just walk in and check your systems. And if you don't allow them to do that, then there are some penalties involved in this. So you may be in the middle of production and you have to let them see that you have the right copy of this. It's pretty intense on the language here. I'm not saying that they would do it. I'm just saying it's very important that you read this license agreement if you're going to be using Rokoko Studio. Now, that doesn't mean you can't use the suit, because you can use the suit with Unity. You can use the suit with Maya. But just understand, when you go ahead and you fill out this whole Rokoko Studio thing, that you're dealing with a pretty, detailed and strict set of rules and regulations on this. So when you hit accept, understand that your computer, the data that's on that computer, and all that other stuff, dealing with this particular software, okay, gives them all kinds of rights to the data and rights to your system when it's on the network, okay? So this is one thing you want to be aware of. So I went ahead and agreed to it because I'm going to be using the Rokoko studio to be able to do this video. But after this, I'm probably going to be using Maya or something else to be able to do it because if I'm online, I don't want them having access to that. However, while you can be online using this, there's those other options, and you can use this, not online. So after I agreed to everything, and after I restarted this system, then this happened. So so after I installed a new Rokoko studio, there was not even an avatar. There was nothing. So I tried to reconnect and it was connecting. As you can see, the network was connecting. I checked my network over and over again and it still wasn't anything. So I've gone from having an avatar there to having at least moved to having no avatar to nothing being here. So it was getting worse the more I updated. I tried creating a new profile and still it was nothing there. It was just getting worse. So at this point, I have to call customer service. So after talking to customer service, so actually emailing them, they contacted me back, and then whatever they wanted didn't work, and then they contacted me again, and they contacted me again, and then they man, I got to get the guy's name, but we were on Skype. They actually Skyped me. They actually asked me to send a video. They actually was into this. And the whole time they're saying, they even emailed me. I didn't even contact them back. I was like, okay, let me try what they wanted. That didn't work. And I'm assuming that's going to be it. I was just doing it on my own at that point. And they contacted me from email to Skype to whichever through their website because I actually was messaging them on the site as well. And I'm just letting you guys know. I mean, the customer service was not as good as it was when I first bought it, when they first started, when they had to impress anybody. It was better than it was when it first started, which I've never heard of. These people are really interested in your success. They're really interested in you being successful with this suit. I've never seen this before in a tech company. Now, if you don't believe me, here's, I don't want to show everything, but here is some of the messages that I'm getting that we went through. We went through this whole thing. I sent them a video. He responded back. This is the guy, and I asked him if I can give his name. I don't want to show too much, but his name is Sebastian, the customer service rep. This is a customer service rep who was just hired by Rokoko. And I'm spending so much time on this because I'm letting you guys know they it's almost like they can't. Once I told them there was an issue with an older suit, they were relentless in making sure that I was satisfied, making sure that this suit worked. The guy even went to the point of saying, hey, make a video, show me exactly what you're doing. I'm going to take that and I'm going to the guys who developed this thing and we're going to figure this thing out. And that's what he did. They came after me to make sure, no, this suit, when they wanted to make sure I knew that when they updated their software, when they updated their hardware, they completely kept it in mind that people had an older version of the suit and that the older version of the suit would definitely work. They were not going to leave anybody behind. So the video you're looking at right here is the issue. Like, I have an older system, and the way I was plugging it up when I initially got it, which it changed after the hardware update, which after showing them the video, they immediately detected, oh, there's the problem, that you don't plug the cable in that way anymore. You have to plug it in the other way. Because remember, when I first did the video, when I plugged it in this way, it actually worked. But now it's changed. So it's actually a different way of plugging in the cable. All those issues is basically the way the cable was being plugged in. So the suit had 0 issues. It was the new update. And remember, it was almost a year ago since I put this thing up. So what I'm explaining to you guys is that the customer service is not as good as it was when I first got it. It's 1,000% better. So I'm suggesting to you guys after a year, going keep this in mind. Again, keep it in mind. I went into this thinking, oh man, you already know what's going to happen. And I'm going to be pretty upset. And maybe it'll make a good video because when I'm upset, the video's better. I go all out, I go all in, and I just get nuts. But that didn't happen. And so this is a pretty boring video that you're going to get. However, I am going to go into the details of what I did with the new update. So what I did here in this video is I'm going to go into Unity and I'm going to check out that. I'm just going to see how it is just from the start, just going into it just from the start. And then I'm going to set up the suit off the grid. Off the grid. I'm going to set up the suit off the network. I'm going to put the suit on a laptop and I'm going to go away from my main computer and away from my main network. And I'm going to hook it up to its own hub, to its own router. And I want to make sure that it works that way. So those are the two tests I'm going to do. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. So here we are. We're going to do our Unity test. And I've already downloaded the package. So we're here in Unity and I'm going to run this application. And whoa. Okay, so I have all the settings right, but it's something wrong with the avatar. And so what I'm thinking is that there's probably something wrong with the translation or something like that. I would have to go more into depth than this. I would have to actually have a video specifically focused on this to actually see what's going on here. But I'm just opening up the sample file here without too many changes. But you see it is connecting to the suit. And actually, no, I'm actually underneath the ground, by the way, with my butt up like that. That's not the suit. I'm actually doing this. So see, my arms are now, and I'm moving my arms, I'm moving my legs, and I'll walk this way. This is how I normally walk anyway, you guys. So don't even freak out, I'm a circus freak. I do this for a living. Nah, there's something absolutely wrong with this suit. Now, could you imagine if I actually was walking that way just to freak you guys out, thinking that the suit was an issue? Now, but there is something wrong with the settings in Unity that I'm going to have to fix. It's definitely not the suit. The suit's connecting. Fine. You can see it's not responding at all. So I'm just going to stop this. All right, so I've successfully hooked up the suit, and after all the issues that I had, it's working pretty well even after so long. And I'm actually on my laptop right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and record what I'm doing. I'm going to record the suit, and I'm going to record on the video. So I'm probably going to go to the gym and actually do some stuff on the bench or something like that, and then just see how the motions and everything work. Right now, this right here with my left hand up here is touching my face, so that may have to do some recalibration. And so in order for me to recalibrate, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this top button right up there, and I'm just going to hold steady. And now I'm ready. So the recalibration is a little bit better, but the hand, as you can see, is not necessarily touching the head. And it could be something in the way of the headpiece. But for right now, everything seems to be working pretty well. And this is after maybe I think about a year. So I'm now going to go ahead and go to the gym over here. And you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing on camera. So I'm just going to go into another T pose just so that way we can have the same view. So right now I'm in the T pose. And now my hands are down from the T pose. And this is just for me to be able to match up what's on the laptop and what's on the camera. The truth is the laptop is actually hooked to the network. The suit is hooked to the network. So I'm completely portable with this thing. I can actually go out in the backyard and do all kinds of stuff. But I'm just going to go ahead and do this bench here, and I don't have any weight on it, but just so you can see, the motion between what I'm doing and what's happening there. So I'm here, and I'm not even sure how this is looking. So what it looks like is when I lay down on my back, perhaps something happened with the device, and it looks like the data or something like that was lost. So let's see what's going on with that. So I'm just going to recalibrate. You try that again. All right, so I'm back on the camera right here, and I'm just going to go back into the T pose for a few seconds. Now I'm back down here. So what it looks like, let's set this up here. So what it looks like is that when I laid down on my back, I think what happened was because the device is on the lower back, it lost connection to the network. So what I'm going to do instead of the bench, I'm actually going to do some pull-ups. So let's see how that looks. This is going to be interesting because I'm going to be off the ground. Let me turn the computer around so I can actually see it. So now I'm going to do some pull-ups here. So if you look, I'm looking at it right now, and it doesn't look like, no, it won't even let me do the pull-up. So you can see, you know, a lot of times when they're doing the videos for this, the character has to stay on the ground. Like, I can lift that one leg, I can lift this leg, but when I go up here and I bring both legs up off the ground, you see it drops me down to the floor, which is pretty interesting. Let's see how it looks. Let's see how it looks when I, let's say I'm doing something like punching a bag or something like that. Let's see how that looks. So I'm going to set the camera up to the bag. So here's the bag, and basically what I'm going to do is, maybe I need a better shot so you guys can see it a little bit better. I'm actually moving the camera right now. I'm unplugging the camera, and I'm repositioning the camera. Now I'm doing this and telling you what I'm doing just so that way you can see all the movement. I'm plugging the camera in, plugging the camera in. So you guys can see all the movement on the suit, just regular movement, as opposed to dynamic movement. There we go. Camera's repositioned. Now I'm back here. And I think the suit, yeah, it looks like it's all still the same. So I'm going to get into this position here. Maybe you can see it better on the camera's view. But I want you to look at the position that I am right now and the position that the character's in. So if I punch, I want to actually break the nodes that's here on the side. So here, maybe if I turn this way, no, it's better this way, yes. So here. So I'm not sure if it was keeping up or not, but we can look at that later on in the video. But just to give you guys a really good sense of what's going on. Now I'm gonna go, let's do something like, I think anything when I get off the ground, it's not gonna look that good because it can't take the feet off the ground. Let's move on to something like squats or something. So I'm repositioning the camera. There we go. Now I'm going over here, checking the shot. Okay. Now I'm just going to move some stuff around, move some weights. That was a weight falling on my foot. Okay, it feels really good. Readjusting. And now let's move this here. And now let's look at some very light weight squats here. It's very light. It's some 45 pounds, I think. Well, altogether, 45, oh, 50, 50. So 100, the bar is 80. So let's say almost 180 pounds here. So let's see how this is going to look here. And I can turn towards the camera. I think on the camera I'm backwards, but on here I'm forward. So I'm just going to turn this way so you can kind of see it from different angles. So I'm going down here, I'm grabbing it, and I'm pushing up there. Let me try it from the other way. See what happens here. So you can see both of those. You can see it whether, whether me punching the bag or something like that. Now, if I were to lift my leg or something like that, these things, these sort of motions are fine. As a matter of fact, having a conversation, but any sort of special move that I need to jump off the ground or something like that, this is not going to work. You're going to have to actually animate that by hand. I mean, even if I, let's say I grab these 45s here, okay? So let me bring the camera up just a little bit. So let's say I have these 45s. And now what I'm going to do is, you look at the shot down there, I'm actually just going to curl the 45s here. Now when you look at that, I'm coming all the way up here on the 45. Now on the video, well, it's not that bad actually. It's not that bad. Yeah, it's not. It looks pretty good. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and splice these two together, and I'll see you guys in a minute. So overall, I would say it's still fun to use. It's still easy to put on, and after the update, no issues. And what I discovered was I used their customer service, and what I discovered was a year ago they were great customer service. Before I even paid for anything, they were great. They contacted me immediately, and a year later, not having bought a new suit, they're even better customer service. And I kind of attribute them to the Costco of smart suits. Now, while you may have more money and you can buy a better suit, it's possible. But I will tell you that I have more expensive stuff and I have more expensive cameras and stuff like that. But I'm going to let you know that their customer service isn't better. As a matter of fact, you might get worse customer service the more you pay for something sometimes. But I'm not saying that the other guys are 100% bad all the time. I'm just letting you know, when you find a company who actually has great customer service, you better stick to them because they're just going to get better. And also, a lot of people were complaining about them not having the hand and other attachments. They're coming out with the gloves. I believe they're coming out with the gloves. But what's also cool is they're coming out with the face tracking. So you'll be able to have gloves and face tracking. And you'd say, well, why are they so late? Well, because I don't know this, and I haven't talked to them about this, but from what I understand, Rokoko doesn't put anything out that's not going to be rugged and it's not going to be easy for you to use. They didn't just go ahead and put out the equipment for you to use the gloves because they weren't ready to put them out. And they're only going to put them out when they're ready, and it's going to be robust, and it's going to last you, and it's going to work. They didn't put out the face tracking. While there's other companies who have face tracking, they didn't put it out because it needs to work exactly like they say it's going to work. And the other thing is, it's straightforward, and it's like 5 minutes to get this thing up and running. It doesn't take 1,000 hours to put this suit on. Now, when I got the other suits, I thought I'd just hop in there and then, like Iron Man, just get in the suit and you just go do your thing. It wasn't that way. It took almost an hour sometimes. Sometimes some of these suits take a team of people to help you put it on, right? But I will tell you that Rokoko actually feels like I'm getting into my Iron Man suit and I'm going out there and I'm doing something because it's quick. It's 5 minutes to put it on. I put it on video, and after the calibration, you're ready to go. Now, the process of getting the data from Rokoko to, let's say, something like Unity or Maya or Motion Builder or something along those lines, I believe the process is better right now. I've tried it before with the old process, with the old when I first did the suit, and as you can see right now, I didn't go into depth with the with the Unity plugin. But I am going to go more in depth with that, and I'm probably going to use it on another project, and I'll probably do another webisode or something like that and use it just so people can see how it's actually used in production. But I'm pretty surprised at the quality of the suit and the quality of the service a year later. So if you want a suit and you have $2,500 to spend and you need a suit for production, I would say get this one. And again, these suits are not 100% precise, and there are some issues. But just know the issues and see if you can use the suit. If you're not really doing any sort of weird dynamic jumping and stuff like that, and flips and kicks, you want to use it for still games, you want to use it for presentation, or you want to use it for anything else, it's still good. Just know the limitations. Know what you are signing up for when you are using the application. And just basically have fun with it because it's going to be there for you. And the company seems like they're going to be there for a long time because any company that has really good customer service, they're there for the long run. So I would look out for this Smart Suit Pro team and the way they're running things. So if you guys have any more questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. And later on, I'm going to be doing some Python programming with it and, just maybe going more in depth with it. But if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.